Dez Bryant was a name that struck fear into defenders and excitement into the hearts of Cowboy fans. Known for his spectacular catches, game-breaking plays, and undeniable passion, Dez Bryant's career is one that will be remembered by a plethora of NFL fans. But how electrifying was Dez Bryant actually? A better question was, how good was Dez Bryant actually? I mean, when he was playing, Dez would continuously be talked about, and the very next moment, it's like he vanished. I briefly touched on this topic in my 5 icons that will never make the Hall of Fame. If you want to check that out, I'll leave it right up here. But I wanted to talk about Dez Bryant a little bit more because in the similar breath of the other players I talked about, I don't know if Dez Bryant did enough in his career to warrant the Hall of Fame. However, his story felt a little bit different. As far as a memorable player, you can't get more memorable than Dez. He had iconic catches, he had great statistics, and he was on relatively good Cowboys teams. So what exactly happened? And how good was Dez Bryant to measure up against other players during his time, as well as all-time greats in NFL history? Dez was born on November 4th, 1988 in Galveston County, Texas. Shout out Charles Barkley.
We're gonna send it to Galveston where that dirty ass water be washed up on the shore and you people think they're in the beach.
Bryant was raised in a challenging environment, but would find solace and purpose on the football field. His natural athleticism and competitive spirit quickly made him a standout player in high school. The 4-star recruit took his talents to Oklahoma State University, where he became one of the most explosive wideouts in college football. In just 3 seasons with these Cowboys, Bryant racked up over 2,400 receiving yards and 29 touchdowns. His resume would have looked even more impressive had Dez not been suspended in his final season in college. This was due to him having contact with Deion Sanders and failing to disclose it. And a side note here, I think it's crazy how just having contact with an NFL player or a former NFL player back in the day would warrant you to be suspended, whereas now I feel like college players can do whatever they want, to be honest. It's crazy how different the landscape of college football was just about 10 years ago. Still, his ability to make acrobatic catches and dominate defenders earned him All-American honors and set the stage for his NFL career. His performances would also be noticed by scouts, and in many mock drafts, Bryant was the first wide receiver off the board. But again, due to his off-the-field incidents and overall character concerns, Bryant would indeed slip in the first round, despite being the best wide receiver in this draft. In the 2010 draft, the Cowboys would select Dez Bryant with the 24th overall pick. Bryant was the second wide receiver taken behind Demaryius Thomas. From the moment he stepped onto the field, it was clear that Bryant was a special talent. His rookie season was a glimpse of what's to come. 45 receptions, 561 receiving yards, and 6 touchdowns to go along with 2 punt returns. This showcased his playmaking ability while rarely even being the starting wide receiver. His rookie year would be cut short as Bryant would fracture his ankle in a game against the Colts, and he would be done for the year. So on top of an impressive rookie showing, he still could have had even higher statistics. Bryant's chemistry with quarterback Tony Romo was instantaneous, and while they formed a dynamic duo that would terrorize defenses for years, Bryant would establish himself as one of the premier wide receivers in the league. Known for his physicality, incredible catch radius, and ability to make plays in critical moments. At his peak, Dez Bryant was virtually unstoppable. From 2012 to 2014, he recorded 3 consecutive 1,200-yard seasons, amassing 41 touchdowns in that span. In 2014, Bryant had his best season yet, leading the NFL with 16 touchdowns and earning first-team All-Pro honors. One of his most iconic moments was also one of controversy, through not really much fault of his own. In a 2014 playoff game against the Packers, Bryant made a spectacular catch. However, this catch was controversially overturned. Like many great athletes, Dez Bryant's career was not without its challenges, more specifically, injuries. In 2015, Bryant would suffer a foot injury that would require surgery, causing him to miss a significant portion of that season. From then on, injuries would continue to plague him in the following years, limiting his production and consistency on the field. Off the field, Bryant faced criticism for his fiery demeanor and passion, often misunderstood as a lack of discipline. Despite these challenges, he was dedicated to the game, and his team never wavered. Every time he would get injured, he would work tirelessly to get back to form. Despite this, he would never be able to recreate the magical 3-year run that he had from 2012 to 2014. After 8 seasons with the Cowboys, Bryant was released in 2018, marking the end of an era in Dallas. Later that year, he would sign with the Saints, and it felt like it was a breath of fresh air. Yes, Tony Romo was a good quarterback, Prescott was good, but he hadn't reached his full potential yet. So you get paired up with Drew Brees. It's all gonna be breezy, right?
Nope.
Unfortunately, Dez would tear his Achilles in practice. It would ultimately sideline him for the entirety of the 2018 season. After not signing with the team in the following year, Bryant had made a remarkable comeback in the 2020 season with the Baltimore Ravens. While his role was a lot more limited than his previous runs, his presence and experience provided valuable leadership to a young Ravens squad. Ultimately, after this season with the Ravens, Bryant would go on to retire from the NFL. Reflecting on his career, Bryant leaves behind a legacy of electrifying plays, standout moments, and amassed over 7,500 receiving yards and 75 touchdowns, earning multiple Pro Bowl selections and countless highlight reel catches. He will be remembered as one of the best of his generation. But does that warrant a Hall of Fame induction? And how good does that prove he actually was? At his peak, I'd say Bryant was a top 5 wide receiver. However, his peak was not very long. It only stretched for a few seasons. I think to be one of the greatest of all time in this league, longevity absolutely matters. There are a few exceptions, sure, but I don't believe Dez is one of those exceptions. From his early days in Texas to his time as a star in Dallas to his comeback season with Baltimore, Bryant's career was a testament to his incredible talent and determination to get back on the field despite setback after setback. Bryant retired as the Cowboys franchise leader in receiving touchdowns and 5th in receiving yards, yet people talk about Dez like he wasn't one of the best in the NFL, if at least for a short time. Playing for the Cowboys has its advantages as well as disadvantages. Yeah, the spotlight will always be on you, so you can make the most of it, but that also means your mistakes, outbursts, everything is also in the spotlight. Guys in the NFL will have outbursts from time to time, but when you combine the spotlight Jerry's World has with a guy like Dez, who carries his emotions on his sleeve, sometimes the bad can be perceived as outweighing the good. Dez will go down as a legend for the Cowboys, maybe even end up in their Ring of Honor, but that's about it. I don't believe Dez will ever make it to the Hall of Fame. If I had to give a grade on his career where an A+ is Hall of Fame and F is a bust or a flameout, I'd give him a B. What do you guys think? How good do you believe Dez Bryant was? With all that being said, thank you guys for watching. If this is your first time on the channel, feel free to like and subscribe. We're on the road to 2,000 subs. Thank you guys all for your support, and until next time, ship boy!